Hey guys, CoCo here with a quick update on the latest build of my Cosmic Aliens, which is now going on about a week old. I did a little bit more tweaks to it this morning. Today is the 20th or 21st, I don't remember. And the last time I made these changes was on the 13th of July. And so this is work in progress. .16, and so let's look at what's new and exciting in this version. It's all subtle, it's all mostly tuning, but one nice thing that you'll see here in just a second is the fact that I fixed my exclamation point. So the exclamation point is there and it works. And so I want to show you a couple of things here that have been tweaked. Number one, you're going to see that the aliens can go all the way as high as the top line now, where before I had limited them to one line lower. And this just had to do with where my shots could be placed on the screen and where I could still be able to erase the shots. And I found if I made my shots go higher, I was then screwing up the top line of the game. And so I had to make all kinds of compromises and cut a few things off. But I've now tweaked a few things to where the aliens can go all the way to the top of the screen, so it does feel like they've got more space to move about. I've also, once again, allowed the aliens to go all the way to the bottom of the screen, and if they reach the bottom, they can wrap back to the top, but I will not have them wrapping from the top to the bottom because that's completely unfair to have something just come up and hit you in the butt, right? So, so they can go all the way down, and one of the reasons why I didn't want them going all the way down before was because in the game over loop I had conveniently put some text on here that I knew this text would not get destroyed, and so another reason why I had done that was to preserve this text. But you know what, I don't think that's really the end of the world, and it does make the aliens look like they're just so destructive that even in the game over mode they destroy things. And also now, because they can come lower, the ship is still here somewhere. You can't see the ship because I have not put the ship on the screen, but the ship's coordinates still exist, and all these guys do is they check for the coordinates. So from time to time, these guys will crash into your invisible ship, which is right between the T and the N. I think is somewhere around there is right where your ship is. So when the alien does crash into your ship, it will trigger the explosion. It will update the number of ships on your screen, and then it'll restart the loop. So even though the aliens are potentially screwing up the bottom line of text, that can be periodically refreshed. So let me just show you the other tweak, which has to just do with performance. And I think I've got my laser shots moving a little tiny bit quicker. So now we're in the main game loop. And just a reminder, I've recently made it where you can move your ship up and down. I've recently made it where you can steer your shot. But one of the things I feel, and I don't have any way to really track this scientifically, but it feels to me like the laser shot is going up a little faster. Now, what I had to do as a compromise here is that the laser actually mentally does go up to the top line here right under the score. So the laser's X and Y coordinates, they make their way that high. But the way I have the routine for when I put the laser on the screen and when I erase the laser on the screen, I'm allowing the laser to go mentally higher, but visually you won't see it when it gets to that top one, and that fixes the glitch where it would erase the top line where it says wave 1 and things like that. So before I was just kind of lazy and I said, well, I'm not going to let it go that high. I went ahead and let it go that high, and I said, okay, well, now what can I do to kind of tweak the code for how I place and erase the laser on the screen? So I've tweaked that code to where it won't place it when it's it won't place it, but it will still track it mentally. It'll track it for the laser, so the laser will know if it hit a ship, and since I've let the ships go higher, the ships will also know if they hit a laser. So if an alien happens to sidestep into a laser, he'll know it, and he'll also die because it's all part of the same game logic. So just minor tweaks, and I feel like I've got the shot moving a little faster, and I've allowed the aliens to go one block higher on the screen, so they're literally as high as they can go without erasing the score. and they can literally go all the way to the bottom of the screen. And you just saw that guy there. He did go to the bottom, and then he wrapped and showed up on the top again. So this is the last thing that is going to be on version 16. So version 16 just did some real tuning and tweaking and fix the exclamation point. Version 17 now is where I'm going to have to roll out my asteroid shower. And now I have to kind of go back to the drawing board and figure out a whole new routine to generate them, to randomize them, and to move them. So it's going to be similar to the alien routine for movement, but it's not going to be, they're not going to be moving randomly. They're going to be moving, they're just going to be falling. But I have to figure out some logic to where I have enough aliens on the, enough asteroids on the screen to make it a challenge for you, and as well as making sure none of them overlap each other on the x-axis. On the y-axis, they probably won't overlap, but I don't want two asteroids on the same spot and things like that. So I'm just trying to figure out in my head how to do the logic to generate the random locations for them, and to do some error checking to make sure that no two asteroids have randomly decided to be in the same position. Or perhaps rather than making it random, maybe I'll just make another array for the positions of the asteroids, and at that point it kind of becomes a pattern, I guess. But those are the things I'm just trying to work out. And so hopefully this weekend after CoCo Talk, I will start working on that. And so, yeah, so a little bit of progress has been made. It's been about a week since I worked on the program. For a while, I was spending several hours a day, every day, just with my head deep in it. And I just felt like, number one, I needed a break. And then number two, I have a whole new thing I have to come up with, and I just haven't figured it out yet. And sometimes you just have to just keep on going through life and let your brain stew on it, and somewhere in your brain's own multitasking ability, it will come up with some ideas for me. And I think I'm almost there. I think my back burner multitasking brain has given me some ideas I'm going to try to implement this weekend. So this concludes the preview of Cosmic Aliens update 16. And again, I think the laser shots move a little bit faster. I really don't have any way to scientifically time this to know how many frames per second, how many loops per second are going on. So if somebody can tell me how to do that in MAME, where I could really tell scientifically if I'm speeding things up, that would actually be kind of useful. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this little preview and this update of Cosmic Aliens. To track the project, just go to cosmicaliens.com. There you can learn the past, the present, and the future of this game, because I plan on having a plethora of versions on a plethora of platforms. I'm starting for the CoCo 1 and 2 in BASIC, but I hope to have assembly language versions for the CoCo 1 and 2. I hope to have CoCo 3 versions. I hope to eventually be able to support sound hardware, all kinds of stuff. So, you know, we got to start somewhere, and here's where we are. But cosmicaliens.com is where you can track all the current and future versions of this game, as well as look at the original MS-DOS version. You can download the original MS-DOS version there and look at some videos of the development in progress, and there's some blogs and stuff too. All right, Stevie Strow saying Cosmic Aliens. Peace out, everybody.